How you going there? My name's Mark. This is an instructional video on how to make a honey extractor. What I set out to do was to make one as compact as I could. All the ones I saw on YouTube were quite large bins and I don't have a lot of space here. It's my garage, it's already chock-a-block full with all my toys, so I wanted to make one as compact as I could get away with, really. So what I came up with is this rig. So basically, I used a dustbin that I got from Bunnings, a 50 litre dustbin, which I've then constructed the centrifuge assembly inside. It's a twin frame, so it'll spin out one side of the frame at a time, and then you need to take the frames out, spin it through 180 degrees, and spin out the other side there. And then it'll just be a drill which just gets fitted to the top there for the spinning. And then I've got a little tap at the bottom here. So put that down. Now, when you watch the video, it may seem at times like I'm just making things up as I go along, and if you think that, you'd be absolutely correct. I really was just making it up as I go along, but it seemed to turn out pretty well, so I hope you get something out of it. So the frame holder, I'm just using a couple plaster corners, which I've just cut in half. Now what I'm going to do is rivet them together. I'm using these multi-grip rivets. It's sort of got a plastic backing on it, which really is just useful for when you've got varying thicknesses. In this case, just a thin piece. So let's hope this works. The diameter I'm going for is 35 millimeters, which is the width of this top section here. So I'm really sizing this to fit. I just need to bend that element out a bit, and that'll slot in there. So there we go. Voila! File that down, but let's check out the proof of concept first. It's definitely heading in the right direction. So now what I've done is I've cut some polypipe, 18 millimeters, just to create spaces. Now these trays are spaced exactly 35 millimeters, which is the width of the widest part of the frame. Cut these slightly longer at 36 millimeters, just so it helps spread the sides here, just to allow us to get the frame in a little bit easier. Just drilled out a little bit larger one of the holes, or some of the holes, and now we have some threaded 1/4 inch rod. And basically we'll use the spacers here, run the rod through with a couple of nuts and washers either end, just to pull it all together. I've actually already gone ahead and jumped ahead before and started fitting the bottom bracket. So I've just got a bit of aluminium here, 5mm, 4mm, something like that. Just got it from Bunnings, drilled 4 holes here and riveted. And I'll do the same on there. It's easy to do that once you've assembled it all. I've actually just disassembled it to show you what I'm doing. So that's it now assembled with the PVC spacers, threaded rod, nylock nut with some washers on either end. This is the ones I'd already riveted previously, but I'll now actually just drill 4 holes there, rivet that in place, and this will then basically form the base frame. So there we have it all riveted to the base there. Now what I started doing is just cleaning up these ends. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting along these corners to allow me to fold it in like I've done there. A little bit messy on that side, but kind of neatens it up from the top anyway, and removes some of the sharp edges. So I've now tidied up the ends there, just folded them in, and we've now got the base now complete. Just do a trial fit. Okay, that's a good fit. Check the other side. Yep, voila. Alright. So there we have the two, I don't know if you can see that there. It's showing the lower and upper supports. I've trimmed off the edges here. Ended up doing the bottom one a little bit different to the top. I ended up sort of cutting this off just so honey doesn't get trapped in there. The top I actually bent it over, but you know, maybe later I'll come back and cut those off altogether. But being at the top, I shouldn't really get the honey. That's sort of the concept. At the moment, I'm just probably going to have a nut in there. I might put a spring washer in there later. That's going to slot into a brace at the bottom of the bucket later, which I'll show you soon. But that's sort of the concept. Okay, now I'm working on the lower support. So I've got a box piece of aluminium. Now I've just cut that to the length, which will fit in the bottom of the bin, which I've finished. So just got two L brackets on either side, screwed into place with metal screws. I did remove these. Originally was going to have these black plugs on the end, but it occurred to me any honey, or when I wash it, it sort of ends up a bit of a dead spot where we can get some water and honey and all sorts of stuff collect. So I've left that open so it can all drain out. Right, let's have a look inside.
So this is the bottom of the bin I've purchased. It's got these 4 ribs, which I'm going to use as kind of like an anti-rotation spine. So I'm going to mount this either side of 2 of them. So as it rotates, then these ribs will then act as an anti-rotation. So I've already pre-drilled the holes, so just a matter of bolting that in place now.
Okay, so I've now prepared the top bar, same again with some square box aluminium, 1/2-inch hole drilled right the way through, and I've also got a couple holes for locating on a couple studs. Okay, now if you come down here, so I've already tested it so you can see all the honey on the empty frames. But anyway, so I've installed these L brackets, and one on either side, and just with a 1/4-inch stud long enough that it will pass through the box aluminium, and secured that to the bin. I've had to secure these proud of the bin. Not ideal. I've got a 50-litre bin here, but hopefully I'm not going to get any honey spinning out the top here. I think there's enough in there. Anyway, I'll put it together so you can have a look. So there we go. That's all in place and pretty secure. There we go. Woohoo! Happy with that. There we have it. So I'm bringing the camera a bit closer so you can have a look at everything. So I've just given enough clearance there for this to slip underneath. And there we have it. Okay, now for the honey drain at the bottom, what I've come up with is started with some plumber's pipe. I've gone for DN20. I've also got a pipe union. When you're joining 2 bits together, we'll use sort of these. I've already cut this up, but it's just one of those union pieces. The reason I've done that is because I want a neat fit, and I'll explain why. So what I've done with the union is I've cut a diagonal section off one end like so, and a ring off the other end. So the union can sort of see how a union normally works. There's a stop in the middle there. So I've just used both ends of that. So the inner diameter of these is the outer diameter of the DN20. Okay, so here's the theory. So with my pipe section, I'll drill a hole in the bottom of the bin. This is a demo. I'll pass that through, and on the inside I'll use the angled piece with the thin edge towards the bottom. The idea being we collect as much honey as we can from the bottom without creating sort of a tide mark or a point that doesn't drain. So, and then this hole will be drilled as lower down on the bin as I can really make it. On the other side with this ring, I'll basically, I don't want to force this on because I want to be able to get it off because I'm still going to use it, but that would be forced down. And it'll be all glued together with just normal plumbers PVC cement, that sort of stuff. So once that's all glued in place, I should end up with a bit of pipe protruding from the edge of the bin. Now my idea is I could then fit a tap onto it, like so. Not 100% sure if I'm going to do that yet because this is quite stiff, and what I'm worried about is as I turn it, it's going to be creating these stresses on this glued union that I've just constructed. So we'll see how we go. I'm going to put it all together and see how strong it is, and then make a decision on this bit. Okay, let's see how we go. So that's the valve assembly now fitted. Decided to add some L brackets, 25mm L brackets, something like $3.50 from Bunnings, because I really was sort of worried when turning the valve there that the torque on it or the moment would pull it out, seeing it was only glued in. And I'll just put another one on that side there just to finish that off, and I'll probably grab some white tape or something and just wrap it all up, really just for aesthetics actually, just to make it look a little bit neater. Alright, let's see. So that's the valve assembly all in place. Just whacked a bit of tape around there. I thought it'd make it look better, I'm not sure if it really has. Anyway, it's damn secure now, so that really isn't going to rip out anymore, so I'm pretty happy with that. So that's pretty much it now, I think. Well, this is the first attempt. I've just got I only had one frame left of honey because we're actually now in winter, so I just kept a frame full of honey. The other one's got an empty frame, so it's actually going to be quite unbalanced, but we'll see how we go. Yeah, so due to the unbalance, took a little bit longer to slowly spin it out, but got there in the end. And here's the honey flower. Slowly. Hooray! Mm-mm.